excitement level changed since last night?
Oh
Still the
man,
same?
yeah, it's probably getting even more exciting now that we getting closer. I just looked at the date today. I'm like 16. All right, 2 more days to showtime.
You fought close to here twice before in the UFC. There's obviously the Buffalo fight, and then Utica. I mean, it's not exactly next door, but it's not
Yeah.
super far away. What was it like those 2 times, and does that give you the nice groundwork for this week, for being able to expect the fan response and the family response and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so Buffalo and Utica, I had like a crazy showing. A lot of people, over 100 people coming in, like from here to support me. So like I already know, like fighting here alone, oh man, it's gonna be nuts. Like I was telling people, I have at least over 1,000 people, 100%. I got like we got 3 booths, at least 3 booths. Like my high school coach, him and those guys, they got a booth. My family's got a booth. And then my second family from college, they got a booth. And those are like 50 people each booth. And then I got over 10 to 20 private messages from guys that's like 5 floor seats. We on floor seats, da-da-da. So it's just going to be amazing out there. I can't wait.
Is there something about from the Buffalo and the Utica fights where you, because of the importance of it to you, that you kind of amp yourself up a little bit more and perform better?
Yeah, I was telling people all the time, this is a sport. It's just like any other sport. I mean, it's a little bit rougher and everything, but you got home court advantage in the sports. And everybody knows this real. When you're in football and you play at your home stadium, you always perform better. Basketball, when you're at home, you do better on the road than when you're on the road. And this is no different. Like me fighting at home, I'm like, this is real home court advantage. And it doesn't get no better than this. Like literally my house is less than 15 minutes from the Blue Cross Arena. So like that just lets you know how much of a home this is, So like I'm gonna be taking full advantage of it, just soaking up all of the energy and shooting it right back at Charles.
This is obviously, it's a pretty quick turnaround. Did you just kind of stay in camp after that Pearson fight and just say, you know what, I'm gonna stay going, I'm gonna stay ready? And then secondly, do you like the quick turnaround like this? I mean, it's going to be like 7 weeks, right?
Yeah, I did honestly. Well, going into the fight, if you just listen to my interviews, I was telling myself I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I want to go out there, have a good performance, and get a quick turnaround to get on this Rochester card. So the first round finish, I took no damage. It couldn't have been better than that. So right after I got done, I went home, took maybe that weekend off, and that next Tuesday I was in practice sparring again, getting right back after it, just because I knew I didn't know, but I had a big feeling I was going to get on this card. And they actually even told me 2 weeks after that I wasn't going to be able to get on the card. And actually I was bummed. I actually probably even put out a post like, hey, I'm sorry guys, it's not going to happen. But my mom told me, she's like, I had a dream that you're going to be on this card still. So, and I had a feeling, I had a gut feeling still. And I wasn't hoping anybody got injured, but I'm like, things, worse things have happened. If you look at this week, Magny fell out. Like, people fall out all the time. So I wanted to just stay prepared just in case somebody fell out, somebody didn't make weight. So, I've been training this whole time. And so, I did a back-to-back camps. And actually, it was good for me. If you look at when I first started, I fought 10 times my first year. I went 9-1. I was used to going boom, boom, boom. Like a guy like me, I'm a workhorse. Like I love the gym, I love the work, I love the sweat. So these back-to-back camps, it's perfect for me. I genuinely love the sport. So even if I didn't have a fight, I'm the guy that's still in the gym helping my teammates. And with Hard Knocks, we got so many fighters. We had Gilbert fighting the other week. We got 4 guys on this card. So whether I was on this card or not, I was in the gym helping my teammates, and it just all happened to work out that they were able to put me on.
Tell us about your opponent, what you were able to learn about him. Obviously, we know he's a finisher, but you're a guy that doesn't get finished very often.
Yeah. So, knock on wood, I've never been knocked out. I don't really get finished that often. The only times I did has been like some minor submissions. But I've studied my opponent well. I don't take anybody for granted. But honestly, this is a bad matchup for him. I look at his record, I see 9-1 and 9 finishes. I went 9-1 my first year in fighting. This is my 5th year in. So I have so much more experience over him, number one. Number two, I look at the level of competition he's fought. I think the last guy he beat last month was 16-11. And it's not a good record. Like if you look at the combined record of guys that I've fought, I think they don't even have 13 losses, period. You know what I mean? So I know that I've been fighting at a much higher competition, and this guy's one loss has came to a wrestler who's like 5'5". I'm close to 6 foot, and I'm a much more dominant wrestler than that guy is. So you better believe I'll be wanting to strike and knock him out, but I'll be a fool if I don't take him to the ground and try to expose his weakness that I've already seen.
You did campaign pretty hard to get on this card right after Philly. You were talking about it, and like you said, you almost thought you weren't going to. How did the call finally come? How did you find out?
I got a call from my manager, and I'm real religious, and I think it was a sign from God. I literally got a call on Good Friday. I got a call on Good Friday, and my manager was like, "Hey, listen, I'm with First Round Management." You know, Malik called me and was like, "I just got off the phone with Sean, bro. You're on the card." Now, Sean called him 2 weeks prior and told him, "You're not going to be able to get on this card. We can't find an opponent, da-da-da." So he called him on Good Friday, and verbatim, he said, "Desi, you're going to be on this card. We don't have an opponent for you yet, but you'll be on this card." So I took that and I ran with it. I doubled down on my training. I was already training, but once they told me that, I doubled down even more. And I was just waiting for that name to come through. And I think it took like a week for the name to come through. And during that week, I was checking my phone every day, like, all right, checking online. Like, they said I was gonna be on, but no opponent. And then finally they said this Charles Jourdain guy. And as soon as they said it, I told my manager, I'm like, listen, when he calls you with an opponent, don't call me and ask me. Just tell him yes, and then call me and tell me who it is. And that's what he did. He called me and said, all right, so we're going to be fighting Charles Jourdain. What do you think? And I'm like, yeah, cool. And then I looked him up after, and I'm like, no offense to him, but I'm like, why would he take this fight? Thank you for taking it, but why would he do it? But, especially him being he's just coming up in the 55. All of his other fights have been at 45, and he just moved up to 55 his last fight. So, I studied him good. I've been studying him, so I'm ready for it.
We spoke to him back in Ottawa. He stopped by, and he said he is planning on going back to 45. Does it make it a little bit of a lose-lose? Because you're going in as a favorite here. You're expected to win.
No, not at all. This is a crazy sport. I mean, anybody can win at any time. Guys jump up and down weight classes and have success. Look at Donald Cerrone. He went up to 70, had success, went back down to 55. So the weight class really doesn't matter too much as far as that. And I know he's a newcomer, but it's good. He's a double champ. He has a good name on him. He's coming off, like a 5-fight win streak, 9 finishes. So for me, it wasn't about the name. It was just about fighting in Rochester. I could care less who it was. I just wanted to perform in front of my fans and kind of give back to them because they've been supporting me so much since day one.
And I guess it kind of feels meant to be, given it came on Good Friday. Your mom had the dream, so.
Yeah. I like I said, everything lined up. It's like it was supposed to happen.
Is there a sense of, he might be unlucky for having to face you in your hometown under all these lights?
Yeah, I definitely do. I was telling my friends, I feel like he's like one of the sacrificial lambs. I'm sorry I got to do it to him, but, I feel like, no fight you're supposed to win, and I'm not going in here overlooking him because, like I told you, I could run down the stats for you. I could close my eyes and watch his last match. That's how many times I've watched his last fight. It's been on Fight Pass. I've studied his last 4 fights. This is war. I come in fully prepared, but I have supreme confidence in knowing that I'm going to win and I'm going to get a finish. Like, the energy that I'm going to be getting from the crowd and from being home, there's no way he's going to be able to match that.
Do you think fighting in your hometown is going to be easier for you? Because there's some fighters who, the more pressure, those things they have to worry about, tickets and stuff like that, it can be a bad thing for them.
No. A guy like me, I thrive off of pressure. I love when I have more people there. I'm the guy, and my coaches, they were kind of, when I first started getting with them, they were kind of not weirded out, but they were skeptical because I'm the guy. The night before the fight in my hotel room, I'll have like 2 of my buddies sleeping on the floor. I got my mom over on the other bed. I got my kids in the room with me. I don't isolate myself at all. I love it. I thrive off of the support and energy I get from my friends and family. So me fighting at home, I'm a more dangerous fighter at home than I am away from home.
You're a big Dragon Ball Z fan?
Yes.
Yes.
Energy ball. This is what I feel like, bro.
At what point do you go Super Saiyan? Like during a fight, like where do you flip the switch where you're just?
The minute we go out there, and I already know with him, the minute he tries to do any type of spinning move, because I've watched him, he does the spinning, he likes the spinning elbow, he likes the spinning kicks, and then he's a guy that he feeds off of when you back down. So the minute I look into his eyes and I think that he thinks he has a shot, I'm gonna shut it all down. That's when I like turn it on up and like, you know, go hair gold, like I pop the Senzu bean and all of that, man. So the minute he thinks he's in this fight is gonna be the minute I turn it up to another notch.